Letting go of this person feels like losing a part of your soul, like tearing away something that once felt like home, and yet, deep down, you already know. This pain is not the end of you. It's the beginning of something you don't understand yet. There's a strange kind of silence that follows when someone leaves your life, not just the absence of their voice, but the absence of who you were when they were around. You don't just miss them, you miss the version of yourself that existed with them, the laughter, the late-night conversations, the feeling that somehow everything made sense. But here's the truth no one tells you. Sometimes the people we struggle the hardest to let go of are the very ones we were never meant to keep. Not because they were bad, not because you were wrong to love them, but because their role in your life was never permanent. It was transformational. You see, pain like this doesn't come randomly. It arrives with a purpose, a message, a lesson buried beneath the heartbreak, and if you run from it, you'll repeat it. But if you face it, you'll evolve. This isn't just about losing someone. This is about discovering who you become after they're gone. Part 1. The illusion of forever. You didn't just fall in love with a person. You fell in love with a possibility. A future where everything worked out, where the uncertainty of life somehow felt manageable because they were there. You built silent dreams, conversations that never happened, moments that never existed, a life that only lived inside your mind. And when they left, that entire imagined world collapsed with them. This is where the real pain begins, not in their absence, but in the death of what could have been. The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But no one tells you how hard that is when your mind keeps replaying memories, rewriting endings, and begging for a different outcome. You see, attachment doesn't come from reality. It comes from the stories we tell ourselves about people. Maybe you believed they would always stay. Maybe you believed love alone was enough. Maybe you believed they were the one. But here's the hidden truth. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Some are meant to teach you what forever should never feel like. Think about it. A train doesn't stop at every station to stay. Sometimes it stops just long enough for you to learn where you're going next. This person wasn't your destination. They were your direction. And the pain you feel right now, it's your mind struggling to let go of a story that was never meant to be permanent. Reflective. Takeaway. Ask yourself honestly, are you missing them? Or the version of life you created around them? Because healing begins the moment you separate reality from illusion. Part 2. The pain is revealing your attachment, not your loss. There's a quiet truth hidden inside heartbreak, one that most people avoid because it's uncomfortable to face. The depth of your pain is not always equal to the depth of your love. Sometimes it reflects the depth of your attachment. Attachment is subtle. It disguises itself as love. It whispers things like, "I can't live without them," or "they complete me." But real love doesn't complete you. It complements you. When they walked away, it didn't just feel like losing a person. It felt like losing stability, identity, meaning. And that's where the lesson begins. The psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." What if this pain is revealing something you never noticed before? Maybe you depended on them for your happiness. Maybe your sense of worth slowly became tied to how they treated you. Maybe you ignored parts of yourself just to keep them. And now that they're gone, you're left alone with everything you abandoned within yourself. That's why it hurts so deeply, not because they were irreplaceable, but because you made them the center of a world that was supposed to be your own. Think of it like this. Imagine building your entire house on someone else's land. It feels safe, stable, permanent, until one day they ask you to leave. Now you're not just homeless, you're lost. This is what emotional dependency feels like. But here's the hidden lesson. This pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to return you back to yourself, to remind you that your identity was never meant to be borrowed. Reflective takeaway. Instead of asking, why did they leave me? Ask yourself, where did I leave myself in this relationship? Because the moment you find that answer, you stop chasing them and start reclaiming you. Part 3. Letting go isn't losing them. It's finding your truth. There's a moment in every heartbreak, quiet, almost invisible, where you realize something you didn't want to admit before. You saw the signs and chose to stay anyway. Maybe they were inconsistent. Maybe they made you question your worth. Maybe deep down, something always felt off. But you ignored it, because the idea of losing them felt worse than the discomfort of staying. This is where letting go becomes more than an action. It becomes an awakening. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule." In love, something similar happens. We don't just fall for people. We fall into illusions, especially when emotions are involved. We justify, we rationalize, we wait. We tell ourselves they'll change. We convince ourselves it's just a phase. But truth doesn't beg for your attention. It whispers and waits for you to be honest enough to hear it. And now that they're gone, the truth is louder than ever. Letting go isn't about erasing memories. It's about releasing the version of reality that kept you stuck. Think of it like holding on to a rope that's slowly burning your hands. You know it's hurting you, but you're afraid that if you let go, you'll fall. But what if letting go doesn't make you fall? What if it sets you free? Because sometimes the only reason you feel stuck is because you're holding on to something that was already gone. And here's the hidden lesson. Closure doesn't come from them. It comes from your willingness to accept what is instead of chasing what was. Reflective takeaway. Ask yourself, what truth did I ignore just to keep them in my life? Because healing begins when you stop rewriting reality and start respecting it. Part 4. This ending is your transformation. There's something no one tells you about endings. They don't just take something away from you. They make space for something you couldn't become before. Right now, it feels like something is missing, like a part of your world has collapsed. But look closer. What's actually happening is this. A version of you is ending. The version that settled. The version that ignored red flags. The version that believed love required self-abandonment. And in its place, something new is trying to emerge. The philosopher Albert Camus once wrote, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." That's what this moment is. Your winter. Cold, silent, uncomfortable, but necessary. Because without it, you would never discover the strength you didn't know you had. Think about a snake shedding its skin. It doesn't happen comfortably. It's slow, irritating, even painful. But if the snake refuses to shed, it suffocates. This is your shedding. Letting go of them is not about forgetting what happened. It's about refusing to let it define what happens next. Because here's the truth. Most people realize too late. The person you're becoming could never exist in the life you were trying to hold on to. And one day, not today, not tomorrow, but someday, you'll look back at this moment not with pain, but with clarity. You'll understand why it had to end. You'll see how it changed you. You'll realize that what felt like loss was actually redirection. So don't rush this process. Feel it, learn from it, grow through it, but don't stay stuck in it, because letting go of them is how you finally hold on to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that was the lesson all along.